If only I had spidey senses, so I can tell when something's wrong. Oh, and I've been sent to protect this heart from breaking into pieces. Where's my hammer? Where's the shield? Oh, the strength to carry the weight of the world. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall.
Now, here's your host, DJ Host with the Most.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Snap Decisions. This is your Snap DJ, your host with the most, coming to you on what is today? Saturday. Oh my God, I'm getting later and later. Yeah, this week was insane. Just so much stuff going on. My youngest daughter's birthday. Just a lot of stuff going on with work and that. It's just been one of those weeks. And every night I promised myself when I got home from work, which I usually get home usually around 8:30-ish or so. I promised myself I was going to come home, I was going to have something to eat, and then I was going to do the thing. And you know, when you have a full day of work, you work your 8 hours, you come home, and then it's like relaxation mode sets in, right? And you have your something to eat, and then you're even more tired, and then you sit down, and then you start getting interested in something, and the next thing you know, it's like, ain't getting it done. I watched Tron Ares on Tuesday when it came out on Disney Plus. I'll talk about it a little bit later during the MCU Minute when I talk about movies and stuff like that. I'll give you like my review for it and whether I think you should see it. But I watched that, so that took up the better part of the night. That was it was relatively long. I mean, not like, you know, Infinity War long, but it was long enough. And then of course after that I was like wiped out, and you know, that was it. I kind of delved in, and I was the end of that. Then my wife and I went out. My wife got it. My wife loves Perkins, and I used to always love Perkins too. I'd always get the same thing. I always get like the omelet, and I'd get the side of pancakes. But my favorite thing about going there was the syrup for the pancakes. They used to have they used to bring out this little thing with 3 different syrups on it. Well, they don't anymore, which is a bummer because I never used a regular maple syrup. I always used this syrup called Twin Berry. I loved it. It was so good. It was like, it tasted a little like it had like blueberry and raspberry. It was probably like all the berries mixed in there, but it was so good. But whenever my wife sees some kind of a discount in the local Perkins, so she can't, we in the mail, she got a 20% off discount scan code that you could take it as many times as you want. And so the minute I saw that, I'm like, I bet you she's going to want to go to Perkins. So she comes home, and sure enough, she's like, sees it on the table. She goes, "You wouldn't want to go to Perkins, would you?" So I'm like, yeah, let's go to Perkins. So then we went to eat. Didn't get home that night, and that was another night I was going to do the pod. Didn't get home that night until about, we went, I'd say, around like 6. We got home around like 8:15, and around there. And then again, same thing. You get that full stomach, came in, just sat down for a few minutes. I kept saying, yeah, I'm going to do the pod. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do it like 9. But nope. I settled in. I started watching some stuff on YouTube. I'm like, yep, nope, not happening. And then my daughter came in, and my daughter's boyfriend is visiting as well. So, so then that happened. And then I said, I'm going to do it. Nope. I ended up one night having to pick my wife up from work. And And then I've just been like, it's just been a weird week because I've been like infatuated by like weird stuff. Like, I think I mentioned to you guys last week, I heard this new band that I never heard before. They're not new. They've been around for a while. I mean, I just heard them. But Sleep Token, oh man, dude, I'm like obsessed. I'm obsessed now. What a group. Like that singer. Now I know I'm not going to mention his name, but people, you can easily Google and find out who he is. They're supposed to be anonymous. His name, he calls himself Vessel, and he worships the god of sleep. And he said the god of sleep came to him and sort of gave him his idea for this band. And they're all, I mean, the stage set is incredible. Looks like a medieval castle. And the drummer sits up in one of the little alcoves, and it looks like stalactites and everything around. And then they have some women backup singers that sing, and they're up, and they're all in costume. And you can't see their face except for the bottom, like where their mouth is. They have to leave their mouth, open from the mask because obviously you want to sing through a mask. But oh my God, their music is incredible. Like I have never heard, and I mean, I've listened to all kinds of music, and I have never heard anyone that sounded like that. Like they can go, there's a song called Gethsemane on their latest album. And I listened to it over and over. It's my favorite song in the album. That's also the album that has the song Caramel, which is pretty famous, which is ingenious too, because that's him singing to the people who are trying to find out who he is and making his life like a living hell, basically, which is like the lyrics are amazing. But the genre of Gethsemane starts off like a ballad, like a power ballad. And then it goes to this heavy rock metal, like really, and then he goes, and then he raps. Like, dude, this dude can sing, man. I'm like, believe me, I've heard my share of people who are amazing artists all throughout the years. I've had the pleasure of listening to a lot of them, both when I was a DJ and when I was not, I've been a lover of music. I mean, I collected so much music from the time I got that job at Wall to Wall Sound and Video when I was a kid, because I'd get cassette tapes for like $2. My whole paycheck went back there, So I've been listening to, and of course my parents were music listeners. So my father had 8-track tapes. If you know what they are, when you play the song in the 8-track player, the song would play, and then you would have to go to the next channel. And you hear this click, click, and the song would stop. And then you click, click, and it would come back on. And when it would come back on, it was never in the same place. It was never in the right place to follow up to. But that was even before my time, because 8-tracks went away before I really started collecting. But I have never. I'm going to have to see this band at some point, because, I mean, yeah, I've watched them on YouTube and stuff, but oh my God, like this dude he can sing, and like the stuff that the instrumentals, the drummer's amazing. Like I don't know how long this band's gonna last, because a lot of times their thing is they say that nothing lasts forever. So I don't know how long they're gonna keep doing it. Somebody went, and because of course when you have an anonymous anything, everybody has to find out what it's about, right? Like, because we all have to know. We that's just who we are. We have to know everything, right? I remember when Kiss was in the makeup and stuff, in the late 70s, before they did the makeup reveal, or before they did the reveal on MTV and took it off, everybody was trying to get pictures and stuff of them without their makeup. And they'd have to wear like handkerchiefs over the bottom part of their face. They would just leave their eyes open, or their eyes like without anything over them. But I can remember that kind of stuff going on. But, everybody's trying to find, and apparently some psycho went to school, I guess, with one of the members in the band, and they somehow got a hold of their birth certificate, and they stuck that online. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, dude, like that is like so, that's horrible. Like, why would you want to do that? Like, even if you're obsessed by fans kill me, man. Like these people are maniacs. In my other podcast that I do, the wrestling one, we always talk about how these fans that approach like wrestlers in airports and stuff like that, and they act like, the wrestlers owe them a living, and that they have to be signing autographs no matter where they go, even if it's in an airport, even if they're late for their flight, like all that, which is ridiculous. just because they're pro wrestlers, they're in the limelight, they're almost like actors and stuff like that. It's the same thing with actors and stuff too. It's like they have lives, man. It's not cool. I said, but putting out someone's birth certificate, that's like dangerous. Now people know who he is, but my God, like how stupid are you to do something like that? I can't believe people sometimes, but yeah, I love this band, man. The music is so good. If you've never listened to them, you have to be kind of a fan of the genre a little bit. The metal, the hard, the heavy guitars, but the vocals alone. Oh, geez, man, can he sing? I'm very glad I found them. But yeah, so I've been obsessing over that. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Their videos that they do, and then other people that were reviewing their music and stuff like that. I saw the lead singer of The Darkness. I can't remember his name now. Justin Hawkins. I don't know if you remember the band called The Darkness. They came out with a song called I Believe in Love a while back. And all I remember is the dude had like the highest voice. I believe in love. And he had that's a real bad impression, by the way. But he had this voice on him that was like, he hit these high notes that are insane. But he does a YouTube page. And he's even impressed with Sleep Token, like talking about them. It's just so good. It's really cool. Like and it's been a long time. Like I used to do this all. In fact, I guess I should mention. Yeah, I know this is a snap pod, and I'm rambling on about different stuff, but MTV just finally went away after all these years, and it was It very much changed. It was all reality TV and these shows on that were annoying, and they weren't showing videos anymore. No one does that. Music videos when MTV first came on were a way to sell music. That's pretty much what it was. They were just made as little clips. They would get the band to act really stupid in these videos. Like if you ever go back, watch some of Def Leppard's old videos, like ridiculous. They don't even make sense with the song. Like the stuff that they would make them do, these producers and stuff in these videos was silly. Now, a lot of them were live videos and stuff like that they would do, just singing the songs and stuff. And that's fine. But they were just to sell albums. That's really all they were for. But my God, when MTV first started, I was one of the few that had it in my neighborhood, and I watched it like all the time. And that was when I was in the heyday of buying my cassettes and buying CDs, and I was like infatuated. And that's how I would discover like new bands. I would listen to, my favorite show on there was called Headbangers Ball. It was on every Saturday, and it would come on at midnight. And I would stay up until like 3 a.m. because it would go midnight to 3. And the later it would get, the more obscure metal, like heavier metal, they would play. And I can remember like seeing some of the videos for the first time, like Metallica. The very first Metallica video they've ever done was for a song called One. That was off of their And Justice for All album. One is incredible. And the music video, they took film clips from a film called Johnny Get Your Gun, which is about a dude who basically was blown up by a landmine. And he ended up in the hospital, and he ended up still alive. And I've never seen this film. I just remember this from the video. The dude ended up alive, but he was basically, he got his arms and legs blown off. So he had no appendages. So he's basically a husk and a head. And he didn't die. It was like, how horrifying is that? But I can remember seeing that the first time, and I was like, oh my, first of all, the song is amazing. And but that's what kind of got me into them. But nowadays you really don't have that feeling anymore. Cause when you're getting, I have Apple, I have iTunes now, and I just, if I hear an album I like, I just download it, and so physical media isn't what it used to be. About maybe 10 or 12 years ago, I started collecting vinyl again, and I went nuts and I bought a whole bunch of vinyl, but I found myself, it's like, I never listened to it. I bought myself a record player, but then I realized I never, it sat on shelves and it was nice to have it all. But I would never listen to it. I never found the time to do it. It wasn't like when I was a kid, when I could go up in my bedroom and I had my rack system at the time with the big humongous speakers, and I had the turntable and the double cassette deck, and I had the radio, and I had, all that, the disc changer, the CD, the carousel CD player, pretty state of the art for the time. And but I would do that for hours on end. And a lot of times I would go upstairs, I'd read some comics, I'd throw on a cassette, I'd throw on a CD, But nowadays you find you just don't have the time. And when I listen to music now, I listen to it mostly in the car. So that kind of ended that. But anyway, long story short, listen to Sleep Token. They're amazing if you like that kind of music. And that was kind of the reason why I didn't do the pod until today. So that, in a nutshell, is why I delayed it so much. But anyway, you get a little look into my life here from the past week. So, all right. Well, anyway, we got Snap stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the Datamines again because they revealed the cards for the what I'm guessing is Age of Apocalypse season, which is coming in March. So we'll go over those. Now, again, data mines are exactly what they are. They are data mines. They are by no means final. They are by no means guaranteed. So just remember that. They are not official. Data mines are not, they're not made official by Marvel Snap or anything like that. These are just, they are subject to change and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Before we start getting into things, I gave away, I thought I gave away 2 season passes. One was claimed. The other one was not. And so I still have that one. And then I'm going to give away another one. But the conditions to this are, okay, the first one is just going to be, again, through Twitter. The second one, though, is primarily to help me get some subs on my YouTube because I'm literally like 2 away from 700 subs. So I would love to get over that mark. So if you haven't subbed to my YouTube channel, and I am putting the podcast on YouTube now every single week, so you can listen to the pod on the YouTube channel. But if you haven't done so, go over to the YouTube channel, sub, and hit me up with a comment on the latest video that's there. Now, the latest video that's there is going to be the audio video of the audio of last week's pod. That's going to be the latest one. So you've got to leave a comment on that, and that is how you will qualify for the season pass. Now, that is this month, so that's Dragon season, that you can win the season pass if you haven't already gotten it. I know, some people don't buy the season pass all the time. If you haven't already gotten it, it will be available to you to get that way. And the conditions to it are you had to have logged into the game, of course, this month, and within the past month. And you also, what is the other one? You have to have logged into the game, and you'd have to activate it from the web shop, obviously, the code. So I mean, that's really it. You just have to make sure and you've updated your game. You've updated the game. So you had to log in during the season, and you had to update the game. That's the conditions to it. So if you don't want to do that, then unfortunately it's not going to work for you. So, but yeah, so I have 2 more to give away. So for those of you that are listening to this now, and you haven't, maybe you're not on the socials as much and stuff like that, that's okay. If you're not on X, all you have to do is go to my YouTube page. Like I said, sub if you haven't done so, and then leave a comment over there on the latest video. And that's all you have to do. And you could win a Dragon season pass. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Dragons as well up to this point. One of them is extremely strong. Enough so that a lot of people are already saying that the card is going to be nerfed, which it might be. So you kind of got to be a little careful. But, I mean, hey, if you win one of those free season passes, it doesn't matter. You get the card for nothing. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about where I am so far for the month. We'll talk a little bit about some of the decks that I've played. Some variants and stuff like that. What's out there? I know Rian Gonzalez put out a bunch of variants. A lot of people like her and the Chibis and stuff like that. So we'll get into that. That'll be in the Snap Talk. And we'll talk all about that. We'll, of course, visit Comics Corner, where we will talk about Shou Lao. And we will talk about Lockheed, so a twofer in Comics Corner. And then we will go into my comic books of the week, my picks of the week in comics. Then we will head over to the MCU Minute, which is getting more and more and more interesting. I went over the Thor thing with you guys. This week I'm going to go over the X-Men one. So you will hear the audio from the teaser, the X-Men teaser, which a lot of people think is the best one so far, because you got that epic moment from Cyclops that everybody's been wanting to see. And it's, of course, James Marsden that's doing it. So we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about some rumors and things like that as well. A lot floating around about Doomsday, especially the runtime of the movie. How long this movie is as being told that it's going to be. We got other stuff we got the logos for Spider-Man that came out. So we have the Spider-Man logo for the movie. The Punisher logo has been shown. It's just nuts. Like more and more stuff is that. And supposedly, well, now we got 4 trailers. That's how many were promised at first. Now, some people now are saying there's going to be more. I don't believe that one necessarily, because they did say there were going to be 4. And then I think the next one will be at the Super Bowl. Which I also think we might get our first teaser at the Super Bowl for Spider-Man as well. But I believe in the one that's going to be at the Super Bowl, it will be a long-length trailer instead of just these little clips. And I think that could be the first time we see Robert Downey as Doom. So that's exciting. So then we'll go over to the video game section. We'll talk a little about gaming and anything new on that front. I'm actually thinking about getting the latest Diablo expansion, although it's expensive. Like to pour so much money into that. Like I've already spent a lot of money in it, and now I'm going to have to pour another. It's like $50-$60 just for this new expansion. So that's like the price of a new game. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we will get to the lyric challenge. We'll get to the lyric challenge. And someone got the lyric from last week. It was Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. Of course, I've said, if you were paying attention, you would have heard me talk about Rick, because Rick, of course, was on New Year's Rockin' Eve. And that's exactly what he sang, one of my favorite 80s tunes. So we will get a lyric for you guys for this week. But that's essentially the agenda. I am not going to rank the cards, the Age of Apocalypse, because I'm not going to rank them, because, again, they're not final. So we don't do rankings until we get the final tally, the final, the confirmation of exactly what's coming out. And of course that comes from Second Dinner. There's a tournament going on this weekend. It's a snow something tournament that's happening. So people are out there playing in that. I can never play in these weekend tournaments. I'd like to, but I never can, because most of the time I'm working. And they go on a lot of times at night on like a Saturday, and then they go into Sunday, and they play during the day on Sunday. So if I would get to that point, I wouldn't be able to play because I'm working on Sunday. So that's beside the point. I'm not able to play in them, unfortunately. But all right. So anyway, let's take a look at these Age of Apocalypse Datamine. And we'll go over them. We'll talk about them here. Now, this is just the what the cards are going to be as far as the season pass goes. Ensabat Noor looks like he is the season pass card. Iska the Unbeaten looks like that is the premium season pass card. Now, again, this by no means are they final. These card backs are getting to be fire, by the way. I remember mentioning, like, who cares about card backs? But these new ones now, oh man, they look like the Dragon ones this month look awesome. And now these look really cool. There's an Ankh. And then there's, they look really, really neat. We're going to get a Rogue variant and a Magneto variant in that as well. But all right, let's talk about these, because what's exciting about this is there is a new keyword in some of these cards. Okay, there's also going to be, believe it or not, there's going to be from these cards a deck type that people have actually been clamoring for. Wanted this deck type ever since a few cards came out, right? I'll give you a little hint. Ever since Mole Man came out. And now it looks like it is going to be entirely feasible that it could be a meta deck. It could be a meta deck. So we'll get to that. All right. So Ensabanur, or Ensabanur, as some people call him, is a 4/5. Objective is the keyword. Have a full front row at each location, and then he transforms into Apocalypse Celestial's Chosen, which looks like it's going to give him, he's going to get a 0/6 when he transforms. So he is going to be a 4/11. A 4/11. At least that's what it seems like to me from that. So 4/11's pretty good, right? Like, Sar and Dex play Typhoid Mary. She's a 4/10 with a drawback, though, with a pretty bad drawback. Most of your 4/10s, like those big boys, have certain requisites to meet. What's the other one where you have to have a 1 card in order to play him? I forget his name now. But anyway, now, he does have a requisite, but it's just a full front row, which isn't bad. Most of the time, you're going to have that pretty quick in a game in a lot of cases. So he'll be pretty easy 4/11. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. He's just a big boy, right? Then we have Series 5. This is Iska the Unbeaten. A 3/2. End of turn. If you're losing this location, double this card's power. So if you're losing, it would end up going to a 3/4. Now, obviously, this is a card you're probably going to want to play in some sort of buff deck or with Maverick, something like that. That's going to make the power bigger. And then, of course, you would double it. If you use Maverick on him, the lowest he's going to go to is a 3/5. And then if you're losing a location, going to double to a 3/10. So there's ways that you can make, and then, of course, he's end of turn. So, you put him in an Invisible Woman deck, and it's going to be that much better. So that's Iska the Unbeaten. We have a very cool-looking Juggernaut. Horseman of War is what this one's called. And he's a 2/2. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, my God, we're getting more repeat cards. Yeah, we are. We got another one coming, too. Objective. So, again, there's that keyword. Have 7 different powers among your other cards in play, and he gets a +6 power. So if you have 7 different powers among your other cards that are in play when he comes out, he will be a 2/8. A 2/8. So that's pretty good. The objective's a little tough on that one, though. I mean, the Ensaban Noor one, not nearly as bad. This one's a little tough. 7 different powers among your other cards. Yeah, that's a little bit tough to do. But if you can do it, you get a 2/8. The next one is Gambit, Horseman of Death. Again, a repeat card. I mean, different, but repeat. Now again, objective. Play 6 total cost of created cards. Randomly destroy up to 4 costs of enemy cards. So randomly destroy up to 4 total cost of enemy cards. So if it's a 4 cost, you're going to destroy 1 card. If it's like 2, you could do 2 2s. You could do a 1 cost and a 3 cost or whatever. But in any case, he's going to destroy 2 cards. Now, he's a 3/4. Not a very great stat line there. But, he's... Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I guess you're going to be destroying... that's the one I think I like least so far. It seems like a pretty good thing, but I don't know that it necessarily is. Then here we go. Sandstorm. Now this is one of those skills, right? On reveal, add 2 rocks to your hand. Give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. So here we go with the rock thing that I mentioned earlier. So there's a skill card that's going to create rocks, and they're going to get +1 power for each of your front row characters. So they could be rocks that are they could be 2/2s, they could be 2/4s, they could be 2/6. If your front rows are all filled when you play them, so pretty good. Then we have Caliban Horseman of Pestilence. Objective, have 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play. Afflict the highest enemy card with -7 power. So this is an afflict card, but you have to have 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play. So, again, a little bit tougher on that one. But in essence, this card is going to be a 3/11. It's going to afflict an enemy card with -7 power. So, pretty good if you can get it to work. Then we've got another horsewoman. This is Selene, Horseman of Famine. So another repeat card. Objective, have 3 cards with no abilities in play. Steal 5 power from an enemy card here. So 3 cards with no abilities. So guess what doesn't have abilities? Rocks. So Selene is going to work with the rock deck because they have no abilities. So, and you're going to be able to steal power from an enemy card. So she works with the deck. And this next card here, Ozymandias, your rocks have +3 power. +3! This is going to be insane, man. Everybody's going to be playing rocks. And somebody said until Killmonger comes and wipes out. I mean, you're going to have to play Kyera. Right, you're going to have to load up with a Kyera if you want to play the deck, because if they are all 1 cost rocks, you would get annihilated, and you can bet that everybody's going to be using Killmonger once this happens. So you're definitely going to have to play a Kyera, kind of like you would with a Zoo deck to protect it, but you're definitely going to have to play Kyera with this. But this sounds like fun, man. And Ozymandias is a 5/10, a 5/10. So not only is it a 5/10, but he's ongoing, and your rocks have +3 power. So it's an ongoing card. This could be my favorite card of the month, like so far. I mean, the power stats that he has, and the fact that he's going to give all your rocks +3, and it's an ongoing card, I mean, that's pretty sick. Pretty sick. And then finally, we have Ramatut. He's a 4/5. On reveal, use 3 on reveals from cards released before. Now, see, this is weird. Use 3 on reveals from cards released before Zero's time. Zero's time. I don't know what that means. Yeah, these are kind of, that's where you get into data mines. This is why you got to watch, because, again, they're not official in any way. And this is why, they don't quite have some of these figured out or done yet. And so, this is going to let you use 3 on reveals from cards released before something. But cards released doesn't make any sense. Like, that would be like, cards released would mean like older cards before something's time. So yeah, I don't understand this one. They're going to have to clarify this somewhere down the road. It's a bad stat line, but it's interesting. You're going to use on reveals from, I don't know. Let's see if this says it. Now here's Ramatut again. Oh, okay. On reveal, use 3 on reveals of cards from years past. How the hell is it going to figure that out? So basically it's going to use, so it's going to be like older cards from previous years. So you're just going to get random on reveals, I would guess. And it's going to use 3 of them from older cards. So this could technically be a Galactus. Any card that is from, I don't know how they're going to define years past. I would guess the year before this year. Or before next year, rather. This year. The years before 2026. But I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that seems pretty interesting. So it's En Sabah Nur, Iska the Unbeaten, Juggernaut, the Horseman Juggernaut, the Horseman Gambit, We've got the Horseman Selene, and we got the Horseman Caliban, and we're going to have Sandstorm, Ozymandias, and Ramatut. So that's only 9. Then we have Strife. Strife is a 3/7. If your opponent has 12 plus power here at the end of any turn, destroy this. So, obviously a destroy card. If your opponent has 12 plus power here at the end of any turn, destroy this. So, I mean, if you purposely want to destroy it for like a null or something, I guess it's okay. This seems like this is probably a Series 4 card, I would bet. But, so that would give us 3, 6, 9, and then with Strife is 10. Now, that's what we have been getting 10 cards. But this month we have a little bit more. So Strife confuses me, and Ramatut confused me a little bit. But yeah, so there you go. That is digging into some data mines. And again, that's for the upcoming March season of this year. I keep saying next year. Of this year. So we have next month, of course, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the Age of Apocalypse, or whatever they're going to call it, will be in March. So the next time we see data mines, we should see April season and see what that's all about. Some people are predicting possibly Daredevil, since Daredevil Born Again will be coming out shortly. Some people are predicting and just had a whole bunch of, an Iron Man season maybe, an X-Men 97 season maybe. But so people are just kind of predicting things to see what it's going to be like. But yeah, so there you go. And it is, according, now this is from snap.fan. They are calling it Age of Apocalypse, which, that would make sense. And again, same list of cards here. Some of them have release dates, some of them don't. Oh, here's a couple more Series 4s. These have no release date and nothing really to describe what they do. The Living Monolith and Celestial Empowerment. So that's a skill. Celestial Empowerment is a skill. It has Arishem on there, which is cool. And then the Living Monolith. So there are some Series 4 cards that we are getting as well. Let me see what they have. Use 3 on reveals. Now this is Ramatut. Use 3 on reveals from cards released before Ramatut's time. So before Ramatut's time, if Ramatut comes out in March, it would be on reveals before he comes out. But that would be every on reveal, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be every on reveal. Because if he just comes out, then what's exempt? Like the only ones that would be exempt would be the cards from this particular series, I guess. I don't know, that's weird. Little bit confusing. But anyway, so there you go. That's a look at the data mines from the upcoming Age of Apocalypse season, if that is indeed what they're going to call it. So there you go. So that's the data mines. What else do I have? Let's see. In the spin this week. What'd you all think of the OTA? I meant to put that out there in a post. But how about the change to Sam Wilson, huh? He's an on reveal. He does some weird things now. I was playing the land that gives you double on reveals I had in a game, and I had Sam in my deck. And so I stuck Sam on there, and he doubled the shields. He got 2 shields. So I had 2 shields flying around the board. Somebody, I think Lauren Whatevs was saying that she did a Wong with it. So you probably have a whole board full of shields, which is kind of nuts. The only thing I found out was like 2 was even almost too much, because I'm running out of room. Because you're pushing them both over to cap at the same time. So then you have 2, I guess it's kind of nice for like, if somebody's playing one of those, if somebody was playing Clog no, not really. That would hurt you. But I don't know, to maybe block something your opponent's going to try to push over to your side, I guess. But it's just weird, isn't it? It's just weird. What do you all think? Let me know. You can let me know in the comments section on my YouTube page. You can let me know in the comments on here. But let me know what you think of the changes. There's really only 2 card changes, and that was just the cap. And then, of course, Iceman. Iceman now shows you which card it hits. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the changes. The cap is a little odd. I mean, I understand why they did it, but it's kind of the no shield starting the game out on the board anymore. Now it has to come out when cap does. But I guess there were many games that I would play where you would never draw him. So I guess in a way it is better because it's a waste to have that out there. People would always end up using they'd use a deafening chord on it, make it negative, and then you'd have just stupid shield sitting there that's just negative and doesn't do anything, and you can't really even move it because cap isn't out on the board. So I guess it's kind of better in that way. And the Iceman thing I think is cool. It gives you a little piece of information. I saw a lot of people playing with Iceman recently, but it gives you little pieces of information about your opponent's deck. You get to see a card that it hits and know how important that card is to that player. That could be a snap condition because if let's say you hit a 6-cost card, now that card is a 7. So they're not playing that card. So let's say you hit a Shou Lao, for instance, that's going to be now waiting to be played on turn 6, which might really screw up their line because they want to get him out on 5, then they want to do something else on 6, and now they won't be able to. So Iceman could certainly be like a snap condition now in decks. So I think that was kind of a neat change. And all your cool Iceman variants now can come out of storage and you can play with them again. All right, so let me see if I missed something here. Got to go back and see. Oh, by the way, I'm up to 1903 on my X now. So thank you all for that, for following me over on X. Next up is 2K over on the X. I know X isn't, who cares? X is X, but I'm not enthralled by X anymore. But yeah, let me take a look at the agenda. Make sure I didn't. By the way, congratulations to the winner of the season pass. The one who claimed it, his name is Benny Lim. And then the other one was Zero, but I have not, like I said, heard from Zero. And if I don't, then I'm gonna have to redraw. And give another one away. So, all right, let's get back into there and let me see my agenda here. Oh, this is an announcement from Marvel Snap. So, a change to our scheduled programming. Sounds like something that I would have heard when I was young. High Voltage Overdrive will now begin on January 12th at Daily Reset. So that is 2 days from now. It will now run from January 12th to the 19th at Reset, and the shop will remain open for 48 hours later. So that's cool. High Voltage Overdrive is coming. Do I even have? I know I put out an agenda. Oh, here we go. March Datamines review, latest OTA and patch notes. So there you go. We covered everything in there. Patch notes was just a lot of bug fixes and this and that. Not as many as we need, but we did get some. I'm going to talk about the decks in the new season and Snap Talk, what type of variants and stuff like that. Comics Corner with Shou Lao and Lockheed. Plus my picks of the week, MCU Minute with Doomsday, X-Men, and Wakanda. Yeah, so the Wakanda one got leaked. It hasn't been official on Marvel's website yet, but I'm sure it will shortly, probably this coming Monday or Tuesday. So there is a Wakanda and Fantastic Four teaser, and the one before that was the X-Men one, which I'm going to do today on the show. And in Pixel Perspective, that's what I said. We'll talk about the video games and stuff like that. So. I did ask you guys as part of the giveaway what card you were most excited for. And I think the majority of you said Shou Lao, but let's see. John Elliott says Shou Lao. Anna says Fin Fang Foom. Yeah, I'm excited about Fin Fang Foom as well. Romy Tomato says all dragons. Shou Lao, Dragon of the Moon, Fin Fang Foom, and Lockheed. Jahel Aniel says, I'm not sure how good he will be, but I really like for the new Shang to be good. B Twice 85 says, definitely looking forward to the new Shang. Looks mad fun. Raimi says Shang-Chi, Master of the Rings. I think I rated him last. ND Free says Fin Fang Foom and Shou Lao. Katrina says Shou Lao and Fin Fang Foom. Progenito says Shou Lao for sure. Mike says super hyped for Shang-Chi. Scented Robin says Fin Fang Foom and Shou Lao. Lockheed is a close third among the cards I'm looking forward to this month. Neil Found Glory. That's clever. Shou Lao, I'm looking forward to an excuse to play Kitty Athena again now at the Dragons. According to Benjamin Roller, and he is a very good player. He's on the Snap on this podcast. He said that Athena is kind of like a trap card in these decks. Devter says, love your content always. I would go with Shou Lao. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Luis says, I like Shou Lao. Cool card. Carton Verato says Shou Lao. Amatendra says, one more Shang can't hurt. LOL. Chainsaw Man says Lockheed. Ahmed says, card most excited for Shou Lao. Has guts. That's clever too. Iron Fist with a sword. What's his name? I forget his name now, but I know who you mean. John says between Shang-Chi and version 2 and Fin Fang Foom. Bixalaco, I think that's pronounced. The new Shang-Chi. Boy, a lot of people are saying Shang-Chi. I'm surprised. Emily says Shou Lao. Kriat says Dragon of the Moon. Neko Pawa, number 1, says I'm most excited for Shou Lao. Misty says Shang-Chi because it will make the decks bigger. Haha, it's not true. This is interesting. Bread says excited for Fin Fang Foom. Jandro says Shang-Chi. Eric Leong says Fin Fang Foom. Marv says Shou Lao. Bibbo Z says Lockheed. New Shang-Chi says my comic book collection. Banana Guy says Fin Fang Foom. New Shang. Luke says Fin Fang Foom. Jermaine, for whatever reason, has picture of Man Spider. Wrong season, dude. Jason Kazama says Shou Lao the Undying, followed by Shang-Chi. Roberto Corp, Shou Lao. Grogu Baby Yoda, Shou Lao. Card I'm most excited about is Dragon of the Moon, says T Blue. Azul says Shang-Chi. I'll take Fin Fang Foom and Shang-Chi, look kind of fun to play. Says I wish you wash here. That's clever too. Mario, I don't like any card of this season, but a season pass never hurts. At least you're honest. Cabo Man says definitely Shou Lao. His card art is so good too. Musica Electronica. Really excited by the Shou Lao. Would be great to win the giveaway since the battle pass is kind of expensive here in Brazil. Oh, from Brazil. Luis Veliz, Lockheed. Kitty Pride needs Lockheed. Thanks for the opportunity. Joe Pack Joe, excited for Shou Lao. It's already taken me out a few times, so really would love to return the favor. Eliser Canales Pizarro. Shou Lao, for me, it will be the best of the season. Alexis Alex, ALX, Shou Lao. Alex Danny Leon, Shou Lao. Hub says no one can convince me more than Shou Lao the Undying. Jose Ilton Andrade. Lin Lee. There you go. That's the name of him. Lin Lee. Scotty H says Shou Lao. Chris says Dragon of the Moon. Lin Yao say I'm most excited to try out Shou Lao, but new Shang-Chi looks like a banger. Fernet, most excited for Shou Lao. MTZC Mitch Chi, 98, new Shang-Chi. Alejandro Martinez, new Shang-Chi. Maddox, new Shang-Chi. Wow, so many Shang-Chi. Marco, Shang-Chi. Fausto, Shang-Chi. Thor Enjoyer says Lockheed. Tamaro says Shang-Chi. Wow. Lucho says Fin Fang Foom. Hayden says Shou Lao. Shou Lao, New Shang. I'm shocked that so many people are into the new Shang-Chi, man. I'm shocked. I don't really think that that's going to be a good card, but maybe I'm wrong and you're all right. Yeah, there's so many to pick Shang. I mean, it looks like it could be a fun card to play. I just don't think it's going to be that good, but maybe I misjudged it completely. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. There's some stuff on here I got to come back for when I do the MCU Minute because I've got some stuff. Oh, by the way, the Pride variant finally is out. I know a lot of people were waiting for this. It's a Valkyrie, which is very cool. And if you want to get one of those, all you have to do is go to the web shop, type in Pride, Pride, all caps, 2025 in the web shop, and you get your free Valkyrie. Kind of cool. Also for Marvel Snap, double XP all season long. During the Dragon season, every character mastery split earns 2 times the XP. Level up faster and flex your favorites. So that's cool. All good things, guys. All good things. Except me coughing. Drink of choice. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, baby. Give me some sugar, baby. What movie's that from? What movie's that from? One of my favorite horror films. Also, if you didn't get this one, there is a New Year's one in the shop too where you can get free stuff. I mean, free stuff is good. And you have to type in New Year, New Snap, all caps. So NEWYEAR, NEWSNAP in the web shop. And you get Premium Mystery Variant, Premium Mystery Border, 500 credits, and 155 boosters just for typing. Just for typing. Who can beat that? That's amazing. Okay. Well, I'm going to use that as the request line because you all did give me... we got the top 4 already from the Winterverse Snowball Showdown. Let's see what it is. Let's go over these. This is fun. So let's see what these decks are. First one, Galactus? An OG Galactus deck? No way, dude. The rest of them are Shou Lao decks. OG Galactus. Wait to hear this one. It's Cerebro. It's Cerebro. Are you kidding me, dude? It's Cerebro 3 with a Galactus in there. So it's M'Baku, Gorgon, Jeff, Scarlet Witch. You know the drill. Sentinels. Cerebro, Mystique, Cosmo, Jocasta, Maverick, Omega Sentinel, and Galactus. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. And then we got the Shou Lao decks. This one I've seen all over the place. It's got Wasp, America Chavez, Nico, Spider-Ham, Agony, Merlin, Cosmo, Jocasta, Maverick, Shadow King, Scarlet Spider, and Shou Lao. Then we've got very similar... We got the Hood, Deafening Chord, Nico, Spider-Ham, Agony, Herbie, Merlin, Jocasta, Maverick, Shadow King, Scarlet Spider, and Shou Lao. First of all, I'm going to tell you this. Shou Lao is going to get nerfed. Secondly, I'm going to tell you this. Maverick is also going to get nerfed. Mark my words. Both of those cards are going to get nerfed at some point. I don't know how soon it'll be because Shou Lao is a season pass, but they are both going to get nerfed. And then lastly, we have Deafening Chord, Batroc the Leaper, Madam Web, Craven, Sam Wilson's Cap, Silk, Cosmo, Hydra Stomper, Spider-Punk, Juggernaut, Miles, and Shou Lao. So Shou Lao in a move-type deck. So you could see the Shou Lao influence on these decks. I love the Galactus Cerebro. That is absolutely hilarious. I might have to try that. I don't understand how they would get the Galactus off. I mean, obviously it's just an alt-win condition, but... certainly nobody would expect it, but it'd be pretty difficult to do. because you'd probably want to play the Jeff out in the lane. You're going to play him and then move the Jeff. And then you could always Maverick the Galactus at the end of the game and do it that way. And if you have Omega Sentinel out, you could use that as well. So, okay, I mean, I could see it. But it's very weird. I'm going to have to give it a try because you know me, I have to try every Galactus deck. So that's cool. Let's see. This is Ben Roller's version of a Shou Lao deck. So this has been doing pretty well for him, he said, on the latest pod. America Chavez, Nico Minoru, Agony, Surge Merlin Brood, Captain Carter, Surfer. He is a connoisseur of Surfer. Maverick, Hope Summers, Copycat, and Shou Lao. And he was saying that the thing you want to do is you want to get like a humongous Brood. Because you can with the combination of Shou Lao and hitting that Brood on turn 6, you know, and so you that's the way you would do it. But very interesting. That's another one I might have to give a try to. I suck at Surfer though. I've tried playing it and I just never get the cards that I need. I just never get the cards that I need in it. Okay. Well, hey, that's gonna do it. For that part of it, we're going to get to some Snap Talk. And we're going to talk a little bit about the game. So, pardon me while I burst into flame. Ooh. I might have just given you guys the lyric challenge for the week. You know what? I think I did. And that just came right. That's a great lyric challenge because it just came right off the top of my tongue and my head. Right off the top of my who. I'll have to get the rest of the lyrics for that later because I know exactly what it is. But pardon me while I burst into flame. I'll get the rest of the lyrics a little bit later. But you can mull that over if you know what song that is. That band's another one that kind of came and took me by surprise a little bit when that album came out. That's 90s, I think. But that band took me by surprise, and I really kind of liked them. And I became a pretty big fan. So, all right, I'm in the iPad. It's not getting a Wi-Fi connection. Why not? Oh, there we go. Let me go into my app store and update the game because I haven't really played it on the iPad lately. So let me update. Hey, this is the first weekend of the NFL playoffs where, guess what? My team isn't in it because the Cowboys suck. Man, am I glad I lived through the 90s and I got to see them win 3 Super Bowls because it's been 30 freaking years. 30 years since they were in the Super Bowl. 30 years since they were in a championship game. And every other team, I think in the NFC has gone to the championship game but the Cowboys. You want to talk about like a curse? You know how the Cubs like had that curse of the Bambino and that they didn't get to a World Series for the longest time. Then they finally went. I'm telling you, my team is cursed. Jerry Jones made some kind of deal with the devil. I wouldn't doubt that either. But yeah. I hope your team is doing well. If you're a football fan, if they're in the playoffs, all except for Eagles fans, of course, because I hate you all. No, I'm just kidding. I do. I hate Philadelphia teams with a passion because I live so near to. Well, I mean, I live 2 hours away from Philadelphia, but you know that like this area here where I am is a mixture of nothing but Eagle fans and Steeler fans, and I hate it. My best friend growing up was a Steeler fan. And now, back then, like I respected the Steelers because they won Super Bowls. I liked some of their players. Terry Bradshaw, I always kind of liked. He's kind of a hick, but I always kind of liked him. And there was some really, Franco Harris was a great player. Lynn Swann was a great player. They had some really good players. My all-time favorite Cowboy is Danny White. Talk about a blast from the past. He's a quarterback that took over after Roger Staubach retired. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ever going to see another Super Bowl from them. I think pretty much Jerry has to go. Jerry has to like be gone, like pass away gone. And then maybe they'll get back to that glory. But in any case, if you're a football fan and you're watching, I wish your teams well, unless they are the Philadelphia Eagles, or to a lesser extent, the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I can't tolerate either one of those. Hey, at least the Chiefs aren't going to be in that. We don't have to put up with Taylor Swift, right? We don't have to put up with that at the Super Bowl, so that's kind of nice. No offense to anybody who likes Taylor Swift, by the way. All right. We're going off on little rants today. You could tell I haven't done the podcast in a while because I'm just ranting. But I hope you're enjoying it anyway. Okay. Let me take a look at the game. Now, I haven't gotten too far in ladder. I'm kind of taking it easy. I played a lot of conquest because, see what I do now is, especially with these newer cards, right? And if the cards are relatively, they're very new, I will always try them out a little bit in conquest first to just get the feel of it. Like, just kick the tires on the decks a little bit and just get the feel of it. But then I get frustrated because then, like, in Proving Grounds, I'm playing against, like, somebody playing a Mr. Negative, full-fledged Mr. Negative deck. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like, Proving Grounds, you're playing a Mr. Negative deck? What's your issue? But it's probably bots. In all fairness, it's probably bots. Because there's a ton of bots in Proving Grounds. And it's probably just bots that are just playing the meta decks and stuff like that. So more than likely, that's probably what it is. All right, so I am at level 78. So you can see I haven't even gotten to the 80s yet. I've been really, really taking it slow. The card back's fire. If the Fin Fang Foom card back, the gold is really cool. I would like to get it. So we'll see if I could somehow make that happen. In the shop, you have there are some dragons in there you can buy for tokens. Right now I have the Spotlight Stegron, I have Devil Dinosaur. I have enough of both of those cards. And then there's also a dinosaur pack, and I looked at this one, but this is, first of all, it has those really bad dinosaur cards. Remember those dinosaur cards that came out? These are some of the most hideous. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone. Who even did these? Oh, the guys who do the base art. Eduardo Mello and Luca. No, Eduardo Mello is one of them, but then the other person, the artist, is Luca Pinelli. I do not like these at all. I think they're terrible. No offense to Luca. I'm sure his art is great. But I just do not like. I do not like the way these are designed whatsoever. But it's all. They're about the ones the ones I need the most are of, and I'm no way collecting them. But there's Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man are all the dinosaur variants of those. There is a Stegron in here, but I've got better Stegrons. This is the Pandart one. Then there's the Pandart Devil Dinosaur, but I've got very cool Devil Dinosaurs. Spidey's in the back of him, so that looks kind of cool. And then there's Ivan Shavrin's chicken variant of Stegron, which I always thought was odd. So I don't know if I'll be getting any of those. I'm certainly not going to buy the pack because none of them really thrill me enough to want to do that. The MODOK is spotlighted here, and the Ultimate variant of Black Panther is also in my shop there. We did get a new album. The Vibranium offers are out there. We have a Hope Summers bundle for $50. And then let me go to this album. Where are you? Here we go. What do you guys think of the new way to build the decks? Like the new system. It's so confusing to me. Like I think it's going to be cool, but it's just very confusing to learn now. Like I wish they would have instituted it a while back. It does make sense as to what they did, but it's just so confusing. Winking Wonders, and there are a lot of 700 variants in here. I have 5 of them. I have Invisible Woman, which the card is very cool. She's got that bubble around her, and the bubble eclipses the borders of the card, which I think is really neat. Agatha Hotness. I didn't even mean to say that, but someone said that on Discord, and I had to cackle because that was really funny. Agatha Hotness. I mean, she is in a very skimpy outfit. But yeah, I thought that was funny. And I didn't even mean to say it right there. I was going to say it anyway. But we have a Valkyrie. Boy, Valkyrie getting a lot of love. That's really cool, Valkyrie, too. Death I got today. Death is like an anime style Death. I kind of like it. Very different. Doesn't look like Death though. There's an Odin. The Death is a rare. Valkyrie super rare. Agatha Hotness is super rare. Invisible Woman's a rare. So there's 700 gold variants. Swordmaster's a rare, and Iron Lad. So I have all the 700 ones. The super rares are the ones I'm missing now. So I'm missing Valkyrie, Odin, and Dagger for the whole album. Now if I get one more, I can get the Sasquatch. Sasquatch looks odd though too. He's got like human legs, and he's got the hair like on top, but it's kind of like reddish, and he's got horns and everything. And then there is a Loki at the very end of this if you complete the whole album. So I need 3 more cards to finish it, but I don't know. Like, you know me with getting these variants to come back in my shop again. I'm still waiting for that freaking Michael, Ivan, and Eyeless, which I'm 100% certain I'm never going to see. Because the way that they rotate these variants is just not good. It's just not good. All right. So the variants that I got this week, of course I just read a bunch. Swordmaster, Death, Invisible Woman. I got a variant of Kitty Pryde. I think this came in a bundle. The Creative House Pocket variant of Kitty. The Valkyrie Pride variant, which I split a bunch. Agatha Harkness. Which she looks amazing too. I'll tell you what they are doing. They're killing it with the splits of these cards, man. These cards look incredible split now. They like the effects coming out of them in 3D. Like Agatha's got like she's holding her hands up casting spells. She's got a purple one and a blue one, and both of them are coming out of the card. They are really making these things look great. They really are. Valkyrie in the Pride variant, her sword is coming out of the card. Like, these really are starting to look really, really good when they're split. Really, really good. I got I mentioned the Iron Lad, Winking Studios variant. I got that one. I got the Dragon of the Moon variant. That was from the extended season pass. I got the fantasy variant of Stegron. I got that in the season pass track. I pulled an Art Germ Captain Marvel, which I haven't had. I love Art Germ's art. So I got that. And I think... Oh, and I got a new Kate Bishop. Megan Hetrick variant of Kate Bishop. Usually these are all like the 700 ones that I'll get for free. I also got the Tianyu variant of Red Hulk. I finally got I never had a Khonshu variant. I had to buy it. I have not had one. I got the Fireball Studio variant of Khonshu. But I have not had a Khonshu variant. So they are the variants that I got this week. And then, of course, I've been playing the Conquest like I normally do. And I have 3 out of 9 purchases below. And I get a Nightcrawler, which I just got a Nightcrawler. I got that really cool Nightcrawler that said BAMF on it. But this one's kind of neat. This is Don Aguillo variant. The artwork's cool. They're giving a lot of love to Nightcrawler lately. And... yeah, so I've got some tickets for Gold Conquest. No tickets for Infinite Conquest as of yet. So that is where I stand in the game. And again, don't forget, I've got those season passes to give away. I'm going to give it a little more time. I'll give it probably till the end of tonight. But if that other one isn't claimed, I'm going to have 2. So the one, though, you need to do the YouTube thing. You need to do the YouTube thing. I need to go to my YouTube page and comment. It's not hard. Just find my YouTube page. I have links for it all over the place. And comment on that latest video. Doesn't matter. You can comment towards anything you're listening to on tonight's pod. You can comment on... listen, I don't care. I go off on tangents. Comment on music. Are you a Sleep Token fan? Have you heard of them? You can comment on that. I don't care. You can just say hi. And you qualify for a season pass. So, I need to give 2 more away. All right. So there you go. That is the Snapchat portion of the show. And now, folks, we are going to go head on over. Moving on over. rock it on over. We're going to go over to Comics Corner, and we are going to learn something today about Shou Lao, and also a little tiny bit, because he's a little tiny guy, about Lockheed. All right, let's go to Shou Lao, shall we? Oh, you see what I did there? See what I did there? I'm in a crazy mood. I think I'm tired. I'm like overtired, but Shou Lao the Undying. Now, some people say Shou Lao. I always said Shou. I could be wrong. His creators are Len Wein, Roy Thomas, and Larry Hama. First premiered in Marvel Premiere number 16 in April 1974. I was 5 years old. Avengers Volume 8 number 13 in January 2019 chronologically. His alias is Shou Lao the Undying. Also had an alias called Gork. Gork the Undying. G-O-R-K. Affiliation and relationships. Affiliation group from Kunlun. Kunlun. Whatever way you want to say that. Marital status. Ladies, he's single. Physical characteristics. Iris's eyes are red. He has no hair at all. As a dragon, he has scales. Duh. Skin is red. And he has a dragon-shaped scar on his chest. Origin. He's a dragon. Living status. Alive, formerly deceased. Reality, Earth 616. Personal information. He does not have a dual identity. His citizenship, he's a Kunlunan. Base of operation is Kunlun, Cave of the Dragon. All right. Shou Lao was an immortal dragon from a dark plane of existence who became the source of power for Kunlun. 1 million BC. Fan Fei was brought for execution by Shou Lao for breaking a forbidden rule of Kunlun, teaching their sacred traditions to cavemen. These cavemen were also brought to be executed. All of them died except Fan Fei, who killed the sacred dragon with her bare hands and claimed her title as the first Iron Fist. Quan Yuazu. Many years after Fan Fei killed Shou Lao, the dragon had reincarnated and already found his way back to his home dimension. Changeming, an ancient trickster, used dark arts to open a portal to Shou Lao's dimension, allowing Shou Lao and other dark creatures to enter Kunlun. Changeming used the dragon to conquer Kunlun and terrorize the citizens while Shou Lao was sleeping in a cave. Quan Yuazu confronted and defeated him, gaining the power of the Iron Fist. During the Hyborian Age, so this is during the age of Conan. Wow, there's a card. Oh my God, how did I not remember that? That's a card we need for Marvel Snap. We need a Conan the Barbarian card, dude. Holy, they could probably do a Conan season. I loved Conan. I had the little Conan Migo. I saw the really bad version of Conan with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I loved Conan comics, man. They were awesome. But during the age of Conan, circa 10,000 BC, Shou Lao was invoked by men of Kitai. Molten Heart, according to Sibel, during a performance of the Dragon Riders of Kunlun for the entertainment of its UT, Shou Lao went berserk and attacked the city's leader. He was slain by Quan Star, who cut out the dragon's heart. Enraged at this, UT banished Quan Star from the city and revived the dragon by melting its heart. He then placed a molten heart further inside the dragon's sacred cavern. From this moment forward, in order to receive the power of the Iron Fist, each potential combatant had to defeat Shou Lao and then kill him by plunging their fists into its molten heart. Shou Lao was reborn over 66 times. 1878 AD, a Qi Lin entered Kunlun, that's hard to say, through Kuai Jun Fan's heart in an attempt to consume the egg of Shou Lao. Lei Kung the Thunderer and the warriors of Kunlun held back the beast, successfully protecting the vulnerable egg. In modern days, Danny Rand, who is Iron Fist, of course, defeated the dragon, and in the course of battle, had the dragon-shaped scar burned onto his chest. Oh, that's how he got the scar. Nice. After defeating Shou Lao, he plunged his hands into the brazier containing the dragon's molten heart 7 times, and it charged him with the power of the Iron Fist. When I was young, And before I knew what tattoos even were, I wanted that tattoo on my chest. That dragon. I thought that was the coolest thing. When I would read the old comics and you'd see that tattoo, I was like, that is the most amazing thing ever. And now, I mean, I do have a tattoo now. But I don't think I would ever want to get that whole thing emblazoned on my chest. Avengers versus X-Men. Immortal Iron Fist. Lei Kung, the Thunder, assigned Davos to guard the egg that would one day hatch into the reborn Shou Lao. A Chi-Lin attempted to reach the egg and consume it, but was stopped by the Iron Fist. The egg of Shou Lao hatched shortly after. Avengers vs. X-Men. When Cyclops and the X-Men were fighting the Avengers in Kunlun, Hope Summers and the Thunderer came riding upon Shou Lao. The dragon blasted Cyclops, who was empowered by the Phoenix Force, with its fire. Unfortunately, the dragon was too young and weak to put up a fight, and its riders were forcibly dismounted by Cyclops' return attack. However, Hope was able to unleash a combination of dragon energy, fire, and chaos magic to banish Cyclops to the moon. To the moon! Attacked by the One and Davos, Shou Lao was on the verge of death for reasons unknown when the people of Kunlun had a ceremony, hosted by the new UT, Lei Kung, to prepare for the dragon's passing. People of Kunlun planned to overcome the flesh of Shou Lao, but were interrupted by the arrival of the One and his army of undead ninjas. The One and his army rampaged through the city and decapitated Shou Lao, killing him. This is violent. All around the same time, Davos and a group of undead ninjas entered the chamber housing the egg of the next incarnation of Shou Lao. Davos attempted to kill the Thunderer and destroy the egg, but a young monk named Pei secured the egg and fled to New York. Birth of Gork. While fleeing from Davos and his group of undead ninjas, Pei dropped down through a manhole, causing the egg of Shou Lao to fall out of her backpack. The egg hatched, giving birth to the next incarnation of Shou Lao, the Undying. Penn nicknamed the young dragon Gork due to the sound it made. Gork. Gork. Oh, they show a picture of him licking Pei's face. Killed by Davos. After the arrival of Zhu Rong to New York City, Davos urged the people of Kunlun to flee back to their city through the Randall machine inside Rand Tower. Disapproving the decision of Danny Rand's allies to stay and help Danny, Davos snapped Gork's neck. Oh my god. Davos is terrible, dude. This disrupted Danny's chi and left the people inside Rand Tower defenseless against Zhu Rong's attacks. As Gork's spirit left his body, the dragon saw Pei's courage and desire to protect others and chose her to be the next Iron Fist. Gork's chi then transferred to Pei, granting her a dragon-shaped scar on her back and the power of the Iron Fist. Resurrected by Pei, Pei, using a technique from a special chapter of the Book of the Iron Fist, resurrected Gork along Muppet Show. Along with every other incarnation of Shou Lao, Danny and Luke Cage worked together to defeat the Horde of Dragons. Captivity in return. Following the defeat of the Dragon Horde, Danny kept the previous incarnation of Shou Lao, the one directly before Gork, confined in a reinforced cage in his condo while he searched for a way to send the dragon back to Kunlun. Cage was constructed from high-performance 60-centimeter thick plexiglass fitted with soundproofing. During this time, Danny fed Shou Lao a diet of cows and other animals. Later, Danny used the Book of the Iron Fist to open a portal between New York City and Kunlun, bringing this incarnation of Shou Lao back home. Riding on the dragon's back, Danny joined Shou Lao in battle against the Chosen's forces. Ultimately, Shou Lao devoured Chosen. The fate of the incarnation of Shou Lao is unknown, though he may have been killed by the Hierophant's forces during their attack on the heavenly cities. It goes on to talk about some more adventures with Danny Rand. So as you can see, a lot of this is probably going to be in the Iron Fist books. His powers are chi manipulation, fire breathing, lightning, fast, striking speed, self-resurrection by hatching out of an egg. Weakness. If the dragon-shaped scar on Shou Lao's chest was covered, he would not be able to draw any more chi from his disembodied heart and would eventually be defeated. Shou Lao's history as a performing dragon, as recounted in Master of Kung Fu Annual No. 1, has most likely been effectively retconned. In later comics, this part of Shou Lao's lore is ignored and overwritten. Shou Lao's dragon-shaped scar on his chest was left as a result of the removal of his heart. Afterwards, when a person fought Shou Lao and pressed against his scar, they were burned by it. The resulting mark on their own body appeared as a mirror image facing left. The dragon scar typically had the head facing right, but it was sometimes mistakenly depicted in reverse. Shou Lao appeared to possess the ability to alter his appearance upon being reborn. He was most often depicted as a serpent-like dragon without wings or limbs. However, some incarnations were shown to have wings and limbs, whereas others combined a serpent-like body with short, stout claws. When Shou Lao died, or was about to die of natural causes, such as times when there was no need for a new Iron Fist, and thus no need to kill the dragon, the citizens of Kunlun would consume the beast and feed on its chi. Shou Lao's chi was also infused into the rivers of Kunlun, giving nourishment to the tree of immortality and its fruit, which granted immortality to those who consumed it. Danny Rand claimed there were 66 incarnations of Shou Lao, not including Gork, based on the 66 Iron Fists before him. Despite this claim, there must be more than 66 incarnations of Shou Lao due to the existence of incarnations who lived and died before the birth of a new Iron Fist. Additionally, a Chi-Lin said that 66 Iron Fists died before Danny, making him the 67th. This would suggest at least 67 incarnations of Shou Lao before Gork. However, the statement comes with a caveat. The Chi-Lin was likely exaggerating, given that not every Iron Fist before Danny has died, such as Quan Yuazu and Resourceful Snake. Shou Lao is an alternate name for the Chinese god of longevity. All right. Well, that is Shou Lao. So now we will get to Lockheed. Lockheed, here we go. Gotta put my heater on a little less hot. It's getting hot. Why is my block so dark? That's weird. It's like really dark out at the end of the block. What if the street lights go off? Oh, one right by my house is on. Very strange. Weird. All right, Lockheed, Earth 616. Name is unrevealed. Current alias, Lockheed. Alias is Frumius Bandersnatch. Affiliation or relationships, Kate, Pride, Kitty. Spouses. His name is Puff. Puff? Like the magic dragon Puff? Oh my God, now that's not who it is. But I mean, that's pretty hilarious. Children, unnamed children with Puff. Marital status, he's single. He's 2'6", very tiny. He is a male, 20 pounds. Yellow eyes, no hair. He's purple. Purple scales, wings, claws, fangs, tail. Looks like a small dragon. His origin is the flock. Earth 616. He died on Earth 1289. He was killed by an assassin while on Earth 1289, resurrected by Megan and Phoenix. He is known to authorities. His creators are Chris Claremont and Paul Smith, and his first appearance is the Uncanny X-Men number 166. Lockheed originated from an extraordinary species of dragon-like extraterrestrials, boasting advanced technology and a unique societal structure reminiscent of insect colonies. These beings possessed a remarkable ability to traverse space through specialized astral ships, facilitating the transportation of their collective consciousness within their society known as the flock. Individual identity took a backseat to the collective whole, emphasizing unity and cooperation over personal distinction. Renowned among his peers, Lockheed earned acclaim as a courageous warrior and champion against a formidable threat posed by the Brood, a ruthless alien race known for their parasitic nature and insatiable appetite for conquest. His valor and heroism in battles against the Brood elevated him to a position of reverence with his community, further solidifying his status as an esteemed member of the flock. His exploits in defending his people against the relentless onslaught of the Brood served as a testament to bravery and unwavering commitment to safeguarding his homeworld and its inhabitants. The X-Men were kidnapped into space by the alien Brood and taken to a Brood-colonized planet. On this planet, Kitty Pryde met Lockheed, who resembled a cat-sized purple dragon from a fairy tale she recently told to young Ilyana Rasputin. He saved her from the Brood, and then returned to Earth with her. By leaving the flock so unexpectedly, he left behind his fiancée, whom he was due to wed the following day. That's sad. Kitty was initially unaware that Lockheed had survived Slee's world and returned with them. But he was discovered when he again saved her life, this time from a nest of alien Sidrian hunter hatchlings. The X-Men accepted his presence in the X-Mansion, and Lockheed became Kitty's longtime companion. Secret Wars. The X-Men, including Lockheed and other superheroes, were transported to an alien planet, Battleworld, by the Beyonder. Lockheed met a green female alien dragon. The second dragon accompanied Lockheed and his allies to Earth, but she grew to gigantic size upon arrival, rampaged across Tokyo, and was seemingly killed, though the dragon eventually resurfaced. Excalibur. In addition to serving alongside Kitty with the X-Men, he joined her when she founded the British superhero team Excalibur. Later, Lockheed's astral form was apprehended by the flock and was forced to stand trial for treason. After managing to explain his motives and save his fellows from an accident, he was officially exiled from his race, but on amicable terms. Lockheed went into hiding because he disapproved of Kitty's then boyfriend, Pete Wisdom. Lockheed tormented Wisdom by stealing his cigarettes. Wisdom tried to convince the other members of Excalibur that Lockheed could talk, but they refused to believe him. Still, Lockheed saved Wisdom's life against his nemesis Scratch on one occasion. He was in Sword and had some further adventures. In the aftermath of the split between Wolverine and Cyclops, Kitty sided with Wolverine, helping him to rebuild the X-Mansion, becoming headmistress of the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Lockheed followed Kitty back to Westchester, becoming part of the school staff and acting as a hall monitor. Shortly after this, Kitty was infected by the Brood, giving her a bloated, pregnant appearance. Lockheed was among the staff members to go inside her and fight off the Brood, though he gave Kitty a decent amount of gas due to his intense flames, which in turn caused her to burp heavily and maybe some other things. She might have done more than just burped, but that's neither here nor there. She might have done more than that. Then there is Sword. The X-Men were taken by the agency Sword to the planet Breakworld to oppose their intended destruction of Earth. They learned that Lockheed had been working as a mole. Ooh, he was a mole. For Sword, over some time, he was recruited by the espionage agency to report on the X-Men's activities in exchange for Sword's help in resolving his pressing homeworld issues. Kitty later sacrificed herself to save Earth from a giant bullet. Oh boy. Lockheed then openly left the X-Men and joined Sword in space. Still grieving over Kitty, Lockheed drank heavily to help with the pain. Drank heavily. He's a drinker. Okay. Lockheed took on a much tougher attitude, not hesitating to attack others violently. This new attitude gave him an edge in battle, easily overpowering and defeating armed Sword officers who tried to arrest him. It was eventually revealed by Abigail Brand that Kitty was still alive within the giant bullet. But they couldn't get her out. Lockheed approached the unit for help with Kitty, but he later changed his mind, unwilling to pay unit's price, which involved freeing him from his prison. Lockheed flew off. Kitty was eventually freed from the bullet by Magneto and rejoined the X-Men. When the Pandora's Box, a Sword space station commissioned for scientific research, was invaded by the Brood, Beast asked the X-Men for help. This finally led to a reunion between Lockheed and Kitty. Lockheed's experience as a Brood killer and his high-level clearance as Sword proved to be crucial in fighting the Brood on Pandora's Box. As the X-Men discovered the crew were infected by the Brood, Lockheed decided to abandon the station since he judged their situation as hopeless. He insisted on Kitty leaving with him, but she refused to give up the victims. Ultimately, Lockheed came back to the station to help the X-Men and rejoined the team. In the aftermath of the split between the X-Men, between Wolverine and Cyclops, Kitty sided with Wolverine, helping him to rebuild the X-Mansion, becoming headmistress of the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Lockheed followed Kitty back to Westchester, becoming part of the school staff and acting as a hall monitor. Dawn of X. Following the foundation of the mutant state of Krakoa, Lockheed joined the Marauders. During a rescue in Madripoor, Lockheed and Kate were attacked by the Black King. Lockheed was thrown into the sea, but he survived. He was found by a fisherman and his daughter, who nursed him back to health. After he regained his strength, Lockheed left the girl and the fisherman and returned to Krakoa. After his return, White Queen reads Lockheed's mind and discovers that it was Black King who kills Kate Pride. Later, Emma, Kate, and Storm attack Shaw and his residence in Krakoa, and Lockheed take off one of the Black King's eyes. Fall of X. After the Orchis attack on the third Hellfire Gala, Lockheed and Kate split up. Sometime later, an Orchis member goes to the lighthouse on Mykines and finds Jumbo Carnation's lover and Lockheed hidden there. After a brief conversation between the two men, Lockheed burns the Orchis member to death. Later, Lockheed reunites with Kate after an attack that the X-Men made on an Orchis mutant gulag. His powers: purple-skinned alien with a dragon-like appearance about the size of a large cat. Winged flight. Possess the ability to fly by means of his natural wings. Fire breath. Can breathe fire, which can project as either intense concentrated streams of flame or wide-range blasts. He's immune to intense heat and flames he can generate, as well as that from external sources within certain limits. He's been seen to withstand immersion in molten lava with no ill effects. He also possesses 5 lungs of unknown function. Smoke breathing. He's also been known to breathe smoke. He has been seen to use this ability to fill an entire room with thick smoke, which he could still navigate through in well enough to find a vent to escape. Enhanced durability. Much more durable than most would assume, having taken direct hits from superhumanly strong beings and being relatively unfazed. Telepathic resistance. Mine is capable of resisting telepathic probes. Empathy. Like all members of his race, he is empathetic, able to sense emotions of others. Omnilingual. Can understand what one is saying regardless of language. He knows several human and alien languages and speaks English, but rarely does so. Abilities. Piloting. Skilled in the piloting of his race's astral starship. Multilingualism is also learned English, though he rarely speaks it. Paraphernalia. Equipment. Image inducer on a collar around his neck that creates the holographic illusion that he is an ordinary house cat. Transportation. Self-powered flight. Lockheed's appearance and character, as depicted by the various artists who illustrated him as well as Chris Claremont, evolved from the time of his first appearance to his later appearances in Excalibur. When he first appeared as drawn by Paul Smith, he was largely quadrupedal, with red eyes lacking any pupils or irises, a small triangular head about half a foot long, teeth protruding outward from his upper and lower jaws, and his intelligence appeared comparable with that of a dog. By the time of his appearances in Excalibur, as drawn by Alan Davis, he had been anthropomorphized considerably. His eyes were now human-like, with white corneas and black irises, though at times they were colored yellow and red or orange, and he was capable of more human-like facial expressions and gestures, including standing on his hind legs, which may have been partially due to the humorous, satirical tone of the original Excalibur comic book. His teeth no longer stuck out the sides of his mouth, his head was more oblong, and his jaw now much longer. Recently, he has reverted to his previous appearance. He no longer stands on his hind legs. He has lost the comical appearance for the most part, and his eyes are once again without pupils. He still retains the same personality and skills. Initially, his only vocalizations included mostly animal-like sounds like cooing or roars. But hints were dropped as early as Uncanny X-Men 168 that he was capable of more articulate words like oops, as was shown incapable of speaking some words of English years later in Fantastic Four versus the X-Men number 4 in Excalibur 64. During his tenure on Excalibur, Warren Ellis left no uncertainty about his intelligence. He is capable of conversant speech, although for some reason he speaks in a Cockney accent despite spending most of his life in American Scotland. However, the only member of Excalibur who ever hears him is Kitty's boyfriend Peter Wisdom, whom Lockheed dislikes. Pete tries to convince the other members that Lockheed can talk, but in one of the repeated gags of Ellis' run, they refuse to believe him. Even in his times of muteness, he appears to understand what is said and done around him. While Lockheed sometimes tries to give the impression of being unintelligent, at other times he demonstrates outstanding powers of deduction, awareness, and intelligence. He is very loyal to Kitty and shares a close rapport with her that is possibly psychic in nature. Trivia. Kitty named him after the company that built the X-Men Blackbird. Lockheed was engaged to be married. Made a few appearances following the departure of writer-artist Alan Davis from the Excalibur series. Later issues suggested that he had simply gone into hiding and had stayed away because he disapproved of Kitty's then-boyfriend Pete Wisdom. Lockheed has at least 5 lungs. So there you go. That is the story of Lockheed. And now we're heading over to the Marvel Unlimited app. And we're going to look up Shou Lao, however you want to say it. And then we'll look up Lockheed as well as to where you can read them if you want to pick up the app. And obviously, if you don't have a comic book store near you. Well, as you would imagine, so Shou Lao is in a lot of Iron Fist books. So Iron Fist 2022, as soon as modern as that. Immortal Iron Fist, which is from 2007. Iron Fist #1 from 2022. So he's going to be found mostly in Iron Fist books. And just as Lockheed is going to be found in probably mostly all X-Men books. Lockheed's character they do have in here. And they have details from Lockheed is from a highly intelligent extraterrestrial race that resemble dragons. He possesses the power of natural light, the ability to breathe fire, and can understand any language. Using astral ships, his race navigated space, fighting the alien brood species. After meeting and saving Kitty, who ironically invented a story about a character almost exactly like him, the purple creature became Lockheed, her constant companion. Oh, he has his own Infinity comic, which is exclusive to the app. The lovable Lockheed Infinity comic, 2024 to present, so still going on. He's in Marvel Meow. He was in Nightcrawler, Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers. Of course, he was in Secret Wars. They mentioned that. The new X-Men Annual, the Marauders, Avengers vs. X-Men, the lovable Lockheed, there's more of that. The Pet Avengers, Kitty Pryde, Shadow, and Flame, Excalibur, a lot of Excalibur, that's from 1991. That could be around the time of his initial appearance, Secret Wars. So yeah, a lot of X-Men books. And that's how you can find out about Lockheed if you want to read into that. And like I said, the Marvel Unlimited app, $9.99 a month. You get access to all of this, including all of these new books, which I'm going to list to you here. This is the new this week. Let's see what's out. Strange Tales Infinity Comic #4, Alpha Flight. Now, these are all reprints. So these are all reprints of a lot of Alpha Flight books. Wow, there's a ton of them. X-Men Age of Revelation #0. Marvel Rivals Unleashed Infinity Comic, issue #12. Miles Morales, Spider-Man Brooklyn's Finest. That's issue #1. Spider-Man Noir, issue #1. Ooh, a Spider-Man Noir book. Nice. Love to read that. Star Wars, the one I've been reading, issue #6, that is up to Ultimate X-Men, up to issue #20. Ultimate Wolverine, up to issue #2025. Oh yeah, no, that is the year. Up to issue #10. I've been crazy. X-Men The Undertow, issue #1. A lot of ones this week. Venom #250, and it has Null. That's interesting. The Amazing Spider-Man #20 from 2025. Again, that's the one where he's in space. It's getting a little weird. I see Rocket Raccoon is on the cover, and that's up to issue #13. Deadpool Wolverine, issue #10. Spirits of Violence, which of course is Ghost Rider. Looks like Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. That's issue #1. That looks cool. White Tiger Reborn, issue #1. A lot of ones. I mean, we are starting the new year, so it would be the time to do that. New Avengers is up to issue #5. X-Men Age of Revelation Overture, another issue #1. And Red Hulk is up to issue #9. So there you go. Some interesting books for me to read. And you could do that too, like I said, on the Marvel Unlimited app for $9.99 a month. Alrighty then. Okay, we're going to get to some of this movie news. I'm going to go to some of this first. Because I have a bunch. So let's go to these little tidbits. First of all, so we're going to the MCU Minute. This one says Ahsoka star Iman Esfandi has been cast as MJ's boyfriend in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, if you don't know who this is, he is playing Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka. And Ezra Bridger is from Rebels, one of my favorite animated series. So good. You want good Star Wars content. That is a great, great show. It's a can't miss for Star Wars fans. If you haven't watched it, I'm telling you, I got more upset when a character in that show died than I did when Luke Skywalker died in The Last Jedi. And it wasn't even close. So he has been cast as MJ's new boyfriend. So that's interesting. Now, this has nothing to do with superheroes, but I finally got a month date. Now, you guys know what a big Friday the 13th fan I am. And I've been waiting for many, many years for something with Jason, right? Crystal Lake, the prequel series, has got a month date that it's releasing. It's in December. Oh my God, I have to wait all the way till December. But I'm just thrilled to see that there's something coming. I don't care that I have to wait. I'm just absolutely thrilled that something is coming. So, super excited for that. Okay. There's another little tidbit here. Dylan O'Brien is reportedly in talks with Marvel Studios for a role in the MCU. I don't exactly know who this actor is. You guys might know this better than me. But boy, I'll tell you, he looks like he could easily be Scott from the X-Men. Like his look, the face, the hair. I could certainly see that for that character. I don't know. They don't know how or who's going to play that role, but I can certainly see him playing that role. All right, let me. I think I have some more little things here on my Twitter. I think I should some. Yeah. Now this is not Marvel. This is DC. But announced that Sebastian Stan, we all know him as the Winter Soldier, is playing Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2. So that is the Robert Pattinson Batman. And he was cast as Harvey Dent. Many people thought it might be Hush. I kind of would have rathered it be Hush because I love that story so much. But he is going to be playing Harvey Dent. And supposedly, the actor who played the Joker at the end of the first one, the one that was in Arkham Asylum at the end of the movie, is coming back as well. And there's also some rumors that are saying that they may be doing the story based around Long Halloween, which, if you haven't read that, one of the best Batman stories I think I've ever read. They have it out in animated too, I think. Fantastic. Just a fantastic storyline, if that's what they're indeed going to do. Here's some sad news, and I've been talking about this film for a long time on here. The Blade solo film is not happening, so that's finally been done away with. But I am excited about Midnight Suns, and I wrote Man-Thing better be in it. The Blade solo movie is no longer happening. The character will instead appear in Midnight Suns, and that is according to MCU Film News. Now, they have a picture of the Midnight Suns being Blade. Looks like Moon Knight's there, Doctor Strange, Punisher. Ghost Rider, of course, is there. They are not showing Man-Thing, but he's been in iterations of that. And if he does come back, I could certainly see him coming back to be in that. See if I put it. Oh, okay, yeah. And here is 20 comic book projects releasing in 2026. So, of course, we have from Marvel, we have Avengers Doomsday. We have two heavy hitters. And Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day is in July, at the very end of the month. And we have Doomsday, of course, in December, right around Christmas. From the other stuff from Marvel, we have TV animation. We've got, of course, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I loved Season 1. We have Season 2 of X-Men 97, which we all know where they left off with that. And then there's season 4 of Invincible. Now, I've never watched Invincible, but I know a lot of people who really enjoy it. We have some more movies. Now, this is DC stuff. We have Supergirl, which I love the trailer, and I love that comic. And I would suggest, if you are going to go see that, read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's freaking awesome. It's very good. And the Clayface film, this one to me, I think might be a sleeper, because this is going to be a horror film. And I always have liked that character, that villain. And also, we're getting Batman Nightfall Part 1. This is where the whole story with Bane and how he breaks Batman's back, and then it leads to Azrael becoming Batman. It's a great story. I still have the hardcover book for Nightfall that I read, after the comics and stuff came out. The story was very good, and I'm excited. They do good animation there, so I'm thinking that's going to be good. Then on live action TV, we also have The Boys Season 5, the final season for The Boys. Love that show. Very gritty, very dark. Of course, Homelanders, like the evil Superman. It's really, really good show if you haven't seen that yet. And a lot of it does take its cues from the comics. We have Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage, which should be, I think that's going to be good as well. We have Lanterns that's coming out. I mentioned that last week. DC property. We have season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, which I think drops in March or April. We have a special presentation of The Punisher, which is going to be like an hour, maybe a little over an hour show on Disney Plus. And of course, then he is returning in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We have Wonder Man, which is coming out soon. That's out in just like a week or so. They're dropping the whole series. We have Vision Quest that comes out at the end of the year. And then in video games, we have Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which looks a lot of fun. It's all the Batman characters from all the Batman films, so that looks like it's going to be a fun game. The Wolverine game, which they've leaked out some scenes from. We have Token Fighting Souls. That's by Marvel. So it's like a fighting game that looks like some anime-style superheroes in it. They have Iron Man on the cover. This has been advertised for a while. This is a 1943, The Rise of Hydra. And this one has Captain America and Black Panther in it. And, of course, they would have been around by then. It's probably T'Challa's father, the older Black Panther, because, Cap's been alive for, ever. And then, of course, we have Invincible Versus as well. So they're all the video games that are coming out. So a lot of cool superhero stuff that is coming out this year. So a lot of very cool stuff. All right, guys. I'm going to play the X-Men trailer for you all. I'll let you hear it. And then I'll talk about it as we go. So here it is. This is the X-Men teaser trailer. Maybe. Oh, wait, hold on. That could be why. Come on. There we go.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
This is by far the best
From the
one
outside look-
yet. That's by far the best one yet. It's Obviously, you have Charles and Magneto sitting across. They're playing chess. There's something going on. You hear on that great line by Magneto. I mean, these guys are obviously old. This is I think they're both in their 90s, which is crazy. And of course, this is both of their, I think, final acting roles, which is also crazy. But so good, man. That line for Magneto is, who will you be when you take your last breath? Like they know they're gonna die. And then, of course, the shot of Cyclops when he unleashes that optic blast, and he opens his eyes and just the whole sky over him just lights up red. And you could see behind him, there is a leg behind him, which is purple. Everybody's assuming it's Sentinels. Some people are saying Doom may be controlling the Sentinels. That's rumor, obviously. We're not really sure, but amazing. Just absolutely amazing. This is probably the coolest one yet. Not to say the Chris Evans thing wasn't cool and the Thor one, but this is probably the best one yet. And just so good, man. And so cool that we're going to be able to kind of bid farewell to those guys. And give them a final goodbye on the screen. Because, whether you go back and you liked all that stuff from Fox or you didn't, some people really thought that, that they were kind of disappointed with the X-Men a little bit because they were all in the black leather and they never really had that comic accurate stuff and everything like that. And Fox kind of, and so a lot of people really don't kind of care for a lot of it, but man, it was just so cool to just see them up on the screen, when we didn't know we were getting this kind of stuff, and it was just so cool to see. And it's going to be great seeing these guys back again, and however they're going to use them. I really don't think they're going to last very long in the film, and obviously you can see that's the case. But I don't think many of them, if any, will make it out. There may be one or two that'll survive. More than likely Wolverine, because he's playing the role until he's 90. And, Deadpool obviously will be still around, I would imagine. But probably nobody else might make it from there. Maybe Beast, Kelsey Grammer's Beast, maybe. But more than likely, most of all these roles are going to be recast. But that's going to be just amazing. I also have here now. These are all coming out this year. So Secret Wars now begins filming in the summer. So they're going to start filming Secret Wars in the summer because obviously that comes out next December, not this December, the next one. Avengers Endgame re-releasing in September. Remember I told you guys about this, but I was wondering about the date. Well, it's coming in September. So after Spider-Man, which is interesting because what did I tell you guys? That if it comes after Spider-Man, you can guarantee that they are going to have some kind of a brand new trailer to entice people to go see it. I'm going to go because I only ever saw Endgame in a theater once. So I'm going to definitely go back and see it again, even though I've seen it a million times on Disney Plus and wherever else. And then, of course, Avengers Doomsday coming in December of this year. So, all right. We do have a little bit more news. So we'll go over that. But if you haven't watched any of those teasers, go check them out. They are all up on Marvel's website. Okay, so gonna get into this a little bit, because this really went around, and okay, so it's saying that now this it comes from Reddit, so a lot of this stuff is, but it says there's no official run time for Doomsday yet. This film's still in production. Yeah, see, that's the key. I watch a guy on YouTube. His name's John Campia. He's pretty good. Pretty good. Older guy, does, a lot of the rumor stuff, a lot of the, movie reviews and things like that. Not just superheroes, but a lot of stuff. But he's pretty good. He's a good watch. He's probably about my age, so it kind of, but he reported on this and said that there's no way they would know the runtime because they're still going back and they're still got to do reshoots a little bit. They got to do some filling in of special effects, so they wouldn't even have a clue as to what it is. Somebody came out and said it's going to be 4.5 hours long, which I'm like, there's no way, because you'd literally almost have to have an intermission. Because there's, could you imagine not missing anything and going for 4 hours? You're eating popcorn, you're drinking soda, you're drinking, and you're going to be going to the bathroom, and you're going to be missing out on some stuff. So that's way too long. But this says circulating rumors suggest a lengthy runtime of around 3 hours and 45 minutes. That's long itself. But Endgame, I think Endgame was 3.5. But yeah, like, could you imagine if it was 4.5 hours or whatever the case might be? I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. If it were that long. So, the other new trailer has come out. And like I said, it's the Wakandans and Ben Grimm that are in that one. That's kind of a little bit anticlimactic. I'll do that one on the next episode of the pod for you. But that's kind of the most boring one, I think, so far. It was okay, but it was the least exciting, I think, of the four so far. So, all right, let's see if there's anything else. And then we'll go to Pixel Perspective. See if there's anything else going on here in Marvel that I may have missed. Yeah, they're talking about the Blade movie. They called it quits on that. Daredevil Born Again. This is from the Direct. Makes MCU history with new villain decision. Matthew Lillard's new Daredevil antagonist will have a shocking relationship with Matt Murdock. Will debut on March 4th. Daredevil meets or interacts with Season 2's new antagonist, Mr. Charles, played by Matthew Lillard. Is a surprising choice, since a substantial amount of the attention surrounding the season thus far is centered around the mysterious new villain. Mr. Charles is confirmed to operate in a storyline completely separate from Daredevil himself. The antagonist will still play a major role in the season's larger narrative, but his path will never directly cross with Hell's Kitchen's Devil. Makes Devil Born Again Season 2 the first ever live-action Disney series in which one of the show's primary antagonists never interacts with the hero. Different approach at Lillard's character. Previously described as deeply unsettling and psychologically driven antagonist. Will exert influence without ever directly confronting Daredevil. Characters tied to darker, more disturbing corners of New York's criminal ecosystem. Interesting. Okay. I wonder who that's going to be. They're going to maybe reveal him to be somebody else. We got the Punisher's new logo unveiled. Looking better than ever with a new superhero icon. Oh, that looks cool. The new Punisher skull logo appears on a variant cover of the Punisher #1 from the renowned Marvel writer Adam Ross. So it's got the skull, but the teeth on the bottom of the skull are like kind of pointy and longer. It's kind of cool. We know he's coming, of course, in Spider-Man. Avengers Doomsday trailer brings back 2 key MCU villains. Let's see who that is. Exciting moments happen in the footage, such as Ben Grimm meeting M'Baku for the first time. Yeah, that's kind of funny. M'Baku says who he is. He announces himself with his title and all that, King of Wakanda. And then Ben Grimm goes, Ben, from Yancey Street. And he gives the directions of where he lives. It was kind of funny. I got a chuckle. Unclear how extensive the character's upcoming roles will be. They're probably talking about... Oh, yeah, I've got Namor. Namor was shown. He looked cool. Boy, that'll be something. How much the Fantastic Four fought against Namor over the years And Ben Grimm is just meeting him now for the first time, so that's pretty cool. I think that's about it. Marvel blockbuster canceled as MCU plans fall through. What is this? It's from Bam Smack Pow. Oh, it has to be Blade, right? Yeah. Okay, that's the Blade news. Doomsday cast doesn't include this cemented MCU star. Oh, Darcy, Kat Dennings, will not be showing up in Doomsday. Well, I'm in the universe, and as you know, I can't tell you anything, but I'm not in it. I'm not in it. I'm telling you right now that I'm not in it. If I were in it, which I'm not, I couldn't tell you, but I literally am not. I'm sure they already filmed it. I was here. I'm not in it. Said Marvel did scan her at one point. They could digitally put her character in. All right. Well, that's that. Let's go to Pixel Perspective. See if there's any gaming news on the horizon. Haven't really played anything that much. Super Mario Odyssey. Octopath Traveler. No, I'm not really seeing. It's kind of a quiet time for gaming right now because not a lot going on really early at the beginning of the year usually in video games. $2026 RPG that lets you ride dragons promises a map twice the size of Skyrim. What is this? New game showcase. While the event ended up getting ridiculed a lot for feeling more like a podcast, it did include interesting new glimpses of a number of upcoming games, including what claims to be one of the largest open-world RPGs, Crimson Desert. The sprawling action-adventure with the race car-like horses from Black Desert Online developers Pearl Abyss is set to launch in March. It says it's twice the playable area of Skyrim. It's larger than the map of Red Dead Redemption 2. That is a big game. I got my tickets to see Silent Hill 2, by the way, so I'm pretty excited about that. My wife's going to actually accompany me to that, which she's not a horror fan by any means, but I told her it's kind of it's disturbing footage. It's not really gore. It's disturbing stuff like the nurses in Silent Hill and everything, but I'm excited to see that. I think I love that game, and I think it's supposed to really take place in the world of the game. I'm sure they'll probably make it a little bit different. But in any case, I'm excited to see it. All right, then. I think that is about it. So we're going to get to the lyric. And let's see how long we've gone here. I know I rambled at the beginning. I apologize. But, you're going to get that little extra entertainment sometimes from that. Don't forget about the 2 season passes that I still have to give away. So don't forget about that. Oh, I'm over 2 hours. Look at that. Okay. All right, we're going to do the lyric, and we'll get back to something Marvel related. Let's see. I'm going to Well, let's see. I mean, this is about as easy as you can get. But I'll try to pick out a lyric that you may not know, but this is pretty simple. This is pretty simple. No, come on. Giving me a problem. There we go. All right. Oh, this is going to be too easy. All right, ready? Here we go. He was turned to steel in the great magnetic field when he traveled time for the future of mankind. That's all I'm giving you. He was turned to steel in the great magnetic field when he traveled time for the future of mankind. So there you go. That is this week's lyric challenge. And that is going to wrap her up. But before we go, obviously I am a proud member of the Snap Judgments League of Podcast, which includes such awesome shows as Snap on This with Lauren Whatevs, your host, with It's Just Re and Benjamin Roller, the king of the surfer decks. Go check them out every single Friday. I'm listening to their newest episode now. It's a lot of fun, as always. They talk about a lot of different things. We're going to go over the new Datamines and stuff, similarly to what I did. Lauren also has another YouTube channel and another podcast that she's doing there, where she's going to have guests and stuff with that. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, go check that out. Give them a follow. Hang out in their speakeasy, which is over in the Snap Judgments Snap Judgments Discord. I'm also there, as well as having my own. So go check that out. And then, of course, we have the Snap Judgments pod. That is Glazer and Nick the Greek Geek and Roy and a lot of his awesome guests that he gets on there. Very good Snap players and stuff like that you'll learn a lot from if you go ahead and check it out. And, of course, Glazer doing all that hard work and all those videos that he does on a daily basis to get you guys the best decks that you can play and win with in Marvel Snap. So, all right, guys, again, I apologize for this being so late, but I hope you enjoyed the show. This, again, will be out on Spotify anytime now, and it'll also be on my YouTube page as well. And if you want a chance at those season passes, go over to my YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And make sure you drop a comment on the latest video. And all that good stuff. And you can win yourself a season pass for Dragon Month. So, all right, that is going to do it for me for this episode of Snap Decisions. Thank you so much for listening, watching, however it is that you watch or listen to my content. I appreciate you all for doing so. I hope your year is off to a great start here in 2026. I hope you're enjoying Snap as well. And hopefully I will talk to you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions. This is your Snap DJ signing off.